Welcome to Edible Canopy, tips and tricks for beginning gardeners for food forest. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the wonderful Mexican sunflower. I'm Sandra, and I'm going to show you a Mexican sunflower. Well, I've got so many in the yard. They're so beautiful. If you're not familiar with them, a lot of people probably don't talk about them, but they have so many amazing things for the ecosystem, and I'm going to explain that to you today. So this one is a Mexican sunflower, and you can see we have a beautiful butterfly, which doesn't like me being too close, but they come in beautiful colors, vibrant colors. So here's the orange. I love the orange. They come in red, and they grow so vibrantly. They just grow fast. This one I grew from seed. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I also put them in my garden. And I'm going to talk to you about why I put them in the garden. So I'll show you these too. They get like 10 feet high. Again, I planted them from seed. So anyone can do it. And look, we have a nutter butterfly over here. I don't know if I can aim, but these are the same type. What I love about the Mexican sunflower is, as you can see, it's a pollinator dream. Like, they attract so many pollinators, which, if you don't know this, when you're trying to grow fruit trees, no matter what it is you're trying to grow, or you're planting a garden, you want to make sure you have pollinators in your yard, because the pollinators, like, and when I say pollinators, bees, butterflies, moths, bats, lizards, it's crazy. They're all over these things. When I first started, I had little bees, and now I have these big bumblebees. So he's on there. You want those because you want them to help pollinate for you. You don't want to do any self-pollinating. You don't want to have to go find the male part of your plant and then find your female part to get them fertilized so that you can have blooms, flowers, which produce fruit. If you have, let's say you planted a mango tree and you get flowers, they'll take it and they'll pollinate it for you. So it's super important that you have pollinators in your yard. So if you're going to do any type of growing of fruit trees, bananas, a garden, let's say you want to do eggplant and zucchini, make sure you have pollinators in your yard, and these will attract pollinators. It's amazing how magnificent these guys are, because again, they attract pollinators. You've got your hummingbirds, your butterflies, your moths. All that is super important. Another thing that I love about these is that I planted them in the garden, and I'll show you. I'm waiting for seeds to come up in the garden, but I planted them in the garden, and they also will attract insects away from what you don't want them to attract to. So these guys, I'll show you, they don't have any blooms yet, but you can see they're going, and we're waiting for them to get the flowers on them. They're easy to grow from seed, just a little water. I had my husband set up a little sprinkler system, like a little drip system, and they get maybe 5 minutes in the morning of water, because you don't want them to dry out either. They're drought tolerant, but if they're too dry, they're not going to benefit you at all. They won't grow. So make sure that you have some type of watering system for them, whether you hand water them daily in the summer or not. The other thing that I like about the Mexican sunflower is when they start dying off, which the one I just showed you has quite a few blooms I need to clip off, I use them as a mulch. They're so high in nutrients, you know, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So they're so beneficial. I cut them, drop them in my papayas. I throw them in the banana patch that I have, and they act as a wonderful source of organic nutrients for your other plants. So keep that in mind. And I just felt like the Mexican sunflower was worth talking about, because I don't think it gets a lot of attention, but it is phenomenal, and it just spruces up the whole yard. And when you sit here and you can see the butterflies going, and I'm watching it right now, going from one flower to the other, and then the bees going from one flower to the other, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of heartwarming. I don't know, call me sappy, but I think it's heartwarming. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you today about the Mexican sunflowers. Hopefully I was able to give you some good tips and recommendations for having them in your garden near your fruit trees. They're wonderful. You can get them online, the seeds. You can go to a nursery and get the seeds, and then just plant them. Make sure they're watered. Don't even have to do any fertilizer on them. You don't have to mulch them. They just grow. So if you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe, and look, that way you get notifications on my other videos that I'm going to be posting about tips and tricks for growing your fruit garden, your fruit forest garden. Thanks so much.